It is with a great deal of excitement and enthusiasm that I have the opportunity to introduce you to a brand new speaking series that will take place at our church over the course of the next year. If you remember last fall, we did a teaching series called The Quartet of the Vulnerable. And it's interesting to me that for all of the thousands of years of biblical history and the hundreds of years of Christian history, that these four groups have remained much the same. The most vulnerable people of our world and in our society. The elderly, specifically widows, the orphans, the poor, and the refugee. God looks at these groups with a great deal of love and care and affection, and He asks that we join Him in caring for people who are the most vulnerable in our society. So it's in that light that Women at First are hosting a series of lunches over the next year called Who's My Neighbor? Looking at the most vulnerable people within our church, in our community, in our nation, and in our world. And not only understanding their condition, but also understanding and appreciating what God has called us to do. So the very first lunch in this series is going to take place August 26th at noon. Our friend Chris Campbell from Project 111 is going to be at lunch that day. He's the executive director, and he will be talking about the child welfare crisis that is happening in our city. And again, not only to understand and appreciate the problem, but also to understand and to be obedient to our part of the solution. As God cares for the orphan, so we are as well. I would invite you to join me for this lunch. It is sponsored by Women at First, but they want me to be clear in saying this is not a women's event. This is something that they are hosting for the entire church so that we may better grasp God's affection for forgotten people and understand our part in obedience. May God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you on August 26th for lunch.